Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside In Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Oh, you were all in for such a special treat. Clarissa, welcome. Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast.
Jenny, I'm so excited to be here.
All right, so my audio audience, I'm literally bouncing up and down in my screen right now because I've been such a fan of Clarissa's online for the longest time, and what an honor it is to have you here today. For my people who don't know you, because they'll read about your bio in the description, and the only thing is too, I don't want to waste our precious time reading your bio. Will you tell my audience what you do and why you do it?
Oh, absolutely. So I was in corporate for almost 30 years. It was a journey, but I knew wanted to work for myself. So I made that transition in 2021. And what I do now is kind of similar to what I did in my most favorite job in corporate. It's helping people be the best that they can be. And I know that sounds kind of generic, but my work, I call it helping people paint their path. And so how I do that is through art. It's through movement, which is why I love what you do, Jenny. It's through journaling and community. And I think we can get so wrapped up in our heads. I really want to help women, especially in midlife. Let's move from the head back to the heart and back into the body and connect back to our self-expression through creativity and modalities like that.
That is absolute perfection, Clarissa, the way you explain that. Oftentimes, those of us who are now middle age, we came from the era we weren't really allowed to play. You were lucky if your parents allowed you to play, especially if you were a
Right.
girl, right? Most of us were assigned house chores. House chores
Yep.
didn't walk.
Yeah, take care of and I'm the eldest, so take care of your little brother and sister,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It was our duty,
Yep.
right? It was the
It
duty, it
wa-
was expectation, as your responsibility. You needed to serve because you were the firstborn. Oh, that
Yes.
I know, right? And it's not that we don't treasure being an older sister. It's just a lot of our younger childhood was lost because of this role of older sister, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I can relate to that
yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
So, audience members, Clarissa has a really beautiful gift I'm going to share with you right now. Oftentimes, people wait until the end, and I'm going to tell you right now because it's super important. That's how special this opportunity to have her here is. I am going to read. You could go to the description, come back to this episode, all right? Because it's important you get on Clarissa's mailing list so that her very special event that's coming up, which I'm going to help you talk about in a second.
Sure.
All right. So to get on her mailing list, I want you to put in your brain the words from employer to, and that's a letter to, not the words, the letter to entrepreneur.live / self-expression journal. Okay. Again, I'm going to repeat that one more time. From employee to entrepreneur.live / self-expression journal. That is our gift to you today. I think it's a priceless gift. Journaling is super important. Not enough of us do it. For me, oftentimes it's a time to reflect where you're not worried about judgment from other people.
That's right.
Right, because we're really, even even if I'm going to go therapy or in therapist, I'm always a little afraid my therapist's going to judge me because if we're really truly honest, right, instead of tempering it with like nicer words. Well, I hated
Right.
that person's guts, like they were just being an asshole.
Yeah.
But you're like, well, they brought up feelings.
Yeah. sometimes I don't like them.
Versus I just get enraged when I see their face, right?
Right. And how do you really feel?
Right, and then you see the therapist like put their head down there scribbling, like, what are you writing?
I know. What are you
So,
saying?
anyways, so journaling allows you that voice. And the reason why is tell us about this amazing event you've got lined up for us.
Yes. So we're in a world that's fragmented just all around. I don't need to say what's happening, but there's just a lot of stuff happening energetically, politically, emotionally, and all the things. And this event, and Jenny, I'm so excited that you're joining. I'm calling this event Creative Care, Reimagining Well-Being Through Social Prescription. And for those of you who've never heard the term prescription, imagine your doctor prescribing you dance lessons. I'm prescribing you dance lessons for Jenny's next workshop. Or I'm prescribing you an art class with Clarissa. And it's not to say that the drugs we take or that you might need to take, it's not replacing that, but it's really expanding the pool of prescribing what's good for you, what matters to you. And in this world of social prescription, there's 5 pillars: art, nature, movement, service, and belonging. And I'm so excited to bring more awareness to this expansion of what prescription really means. It's all about asking yourself what. So when you go to the doctor, they often say, "What's the matter with you? Tell me what's wrong." Social prescription flips the script and says, "What matters to you?" And it's okay if you're not sure. There's different criteria for prescribing movement, nature, art, service, and belonging. But it's really just a way to reimagine healthcare and put that power back into our hands so that we're not only reliant on medication. And truthfully, when people start tapping into this movement, nature, creativity, volunteering, joining communities, they may go off their medication. So there's power in that too.
Oh, y'all gotta go read her bio because I want you to understand what a gift it really is for us that Clarissa, you're putting this work into making this event come alive for us. In our family, I have fraternal twins through in vitro, and there's a lot of behind the scenes struggles they have as young people during this post. I call the pandemic the panini, the post panini world, right?
Right.
Because it's almost like we lived through the Thanos snap, where just overnight so many of us are gone. And what do the people who are still here do? How do you make sense of this world? Right? Because no
That's
one's really
right.
addressing that, really. We're all trying to pretend, oh, we're just back to the world's very different right now.
So different.
Different. And it doesn't make sense in many ways. And certain things are moving at a pace we don't even really truly comprehend yet. All the science fiction things, like the Black Mirror shows, it's actually happening right now in our world, in reality. Like
Yes.
the robot dog exists right now.
Israel. I've seen it. I've seen the robot dog.
So how does the one center and ground, right? And I used to be an occupational therapist at NYU Medical Center, and then before that, hospital for special surgery, and then private practice with hand therapists that work directly with hand surgeons. And I will tell you, back in the olden days, especially in rehab, we would have team meetings where the doctor would sit and all the people in the team, the social worker, PT, OT, nurse, assistant doctors, any specialists, orthopedics, we would sit and have a conversation about every single patient. Back then, we called them clients. Okay, so 30
Yes.
years ago, patients were referred to as clients, and everyone would discuss what was relevant in their specialty to assist the doctor in getting that person home safely. And I flipped that for
Yes.
me, and I'm so glad you're doing this event because my thing is, in our family, no one goes to the doctor alone. Similar to we had Marley Brodsky who does the Med Companion, where their services provide someone to go with you at all times to the medical appointments, so that you know it's stressful for any of us when we're in the patient's position. We forget details, we forget our
Right.
questions, right? We're overwhelmed by the post-visit details we have to do, the special tests and things like that. So the Med Companion takes care of things like that. However, we often forget, actually, when you walk into a doctor's room, you're the actual person who's like the CEO of your care.
That's right.
Right, Clarissa? And it's up to you to share with them. I don't understand when someone goes to a doctor and you don't tell them exactly what's happening in every part of your life, because they only see this tiny little part right here, and you want
Yeah.
to make you feel better all the way out here, but you tell them nothing about what's happening.
Yeah.
And how does one do anything? Like, so I love this you're coming from this position where you're educating people. We do this already in our families, Clarissa. Like, we're
That's
always double
amazing.
checking, right? And
Yep.
I remind the kids when they go to see a new doctor, they're so nervous because they're in their mid-20s, and they're young and young in life, and not in life experience, but young in life. And they'll be like, Mom, well, what if I don't get along with the doctor? I'll be like, then you find another doctor, because you're
That's right.
interviewing the doctor too.
Yeah. It's
Doctor's
a
not,
two-way street.
yeah, you have to make sure the doctor's hearing you and seeing you and listening to what you're saying to them. And you need to tell them what you actually need, what you're missing, truthfully, not in a, oh, I have to pretend I'm fine, because that's not what the doctor's there for. Then why are you there in the doctor's office?
Right. What's happening?
Right, right. So this is this two-way street. I love this event because you're going to empower us. So we become not patients, because patients have to be patient and we wait for care. And when you're making us, you're reminding us that we're actually empowered clients.
Yes. And I'm so excited for this event because it's like one part education because I want people to know more about social prescribing. Not enough doctors, clinicians do this.
Yeah.
So it's also to bring awareness to clinicians who are not using social prescribing.
Yeah.
It's one part inspiration to inspire people that they can heal through dance, through art, through volunteering, through being in nature, and learning about programs like yours and mine, and expand this concept of, well, what can I do to make myself feel better? And it's also one part experience. So I'm not sure exactly what you're going to do in your session yet, Jenny. Hopefully, you're going to get people dancing. In my session, I'm going to have people do art because I want the audience to experience what it's like to be put in these altered states.
I love the way you just said that. So during the lockdown, I did so many of those online painting classes with the,
Yes,
help those of us who aspire to be artists feel like we're artists by showing us very simple ways to layer on the canvas to make it look like this really cool picture.
right.
Especially from a distance, it would look like such a masterpiece. We all look the same but different, right? They used to be with this sip and paint,
Paint and zip.
paint and
Yes.
sip, right? And now they brought it online during the lockdown, and I have like 50 of those silly things all throughout my house. And then
I
I got my
love
family
it.
doing it, and so it is an altered state, though. What do you mean by altered state? In case some of us
Sure.
don't understand what
I
that.
know, because that kind of sounds like you're on drugs. So in
Well,
a
we are the
way,
drug of
you
the
are.
paint.
Yeah, or
Okay.
the paint. Yeah. And in the best possible way. So when you're doing the kind of painting that we're gonna do, it's not about making a masterpiece. It's about slowing down. And I'm not a neuroscientist, but there's so much research coming out on the power of doodling, for example, for 20 minutes, doodling to reduce stress, to help you focus. 45 minutes of just free painting. You don't even have to paint anything. It could just be swatches of color on a canvas. Again, helps to bring that stress level down. Dancing. I know you could speak to that, the benefits of dancing and shaking out the excess energy that our sedentary life has just become like, no, let's shake it off. Let's move. Let's feel. So that's what I mean by being in an altered state. Today's society, at least here in the West, is very much sit down, go to work, look at a computer, and that's what you're doing. And getting into these other modalities shifts our mindset and shifts how we think, how we feel. So that's what I mean by altered state.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
We do. I mean, even the people who are accessing us right now, right? Either audio or on video through the YouTube channel right now, you are on a device. That sole purpose is to have us be on it as long as possible. And so that will lead us to being much more sedentary than we ever were. You know, back when people who are now like us in midlife, when we were children, when we didn't. Oh, apologies. Come on, husband, stop messaging me. Jeez, should turn that sucker off. So most of us during that day and age, right, we didn't have computers. Even the cell phones that were just coming out were huge. These big,
Right.
like, I know some people,
Boxes.
yeah, we lost some people right now. Just suffice it to say that the world's very, very different in the last even 15 years. It shifted so fast. And part of what Clarissa and I do is to slow us down because life can be like this and be done, and you're not even part of being present in this body, this receptacle, this holder of your soul,
Um,
right? Because it is the physical body. In all of my studies in movement and embodiment, mean being in your body, not enough people understand that our bodies are actually sentient, meaning your brain thinks, oh, I have to power my body. I have to control you. I got to put you, whip you into line. And there's an aspect of our body that's sole purpose is to do what you want to do, to fulfill your wishes. You were given a body so you could do what your soul elected to do in this lifetime. It was like here's your engine.
yes.
Otherwise, we could just sit here and just think in it. And the body's going to
Right.
physically manifest it for you, right? And if we're not listening to the body, which holds basically all of our answers,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
We seek everybody else. We're
Right.
asking you to take some time to relearn what your body is telling you. You slow down. I love what you do, Clarissa, because my children are artists. They love to draw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I remember because they were in vitro babies, so we ended up homeschooling them because they were miracle children. I was never supposed to have children, and so it was very, very, um, very deliberate decision to be a mom, right? So, and being an occupational therapist before, I knew to make sure that they were, holding a writing instrument and letting them do what they wanted to do for doodling. So they've been drawing since they could hold a pencil, and it was really interesting,
Nice.
right? That because of that, their art is a different level because they were allowed to expand that part of their brain from when they were very little, right? And ironically enough, because Clarissa, like my kids, they're homeschooled, and I was an unschooler, meaning I had no rules. We didn't have grades until I had to give them some to get to college, right? They
Right.
tiger mom themselves. Like I'm like,
Oh, cool. You don't have to do anything.
I'm like, hello, I don't care about your A. Did you understand that semester? Yes, mom,
Right.
but I don't understand why the teacher did that. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Real world, right? So it's so funny. It is though really important that you're listening and paying attention to what's being downloaded when you slow down,
Yes.
right?
And I'll share like when I started my business,
Mhm.
I went hard. I was doing 4 summits a year. I was launching every month. I was like, go, 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 go to get it built. And what happened was I got stressed the hell out. And my body said, girl, what are you doing? And I got sick. You can still hear it in my voice. I developed spasmodic dysphonia, which I'm still working through naturally. I refuse to do Botox. And no shade to people who do it. I just don't want to do it. But my body is still telling me, okay, there's still something more to explore. And I'm proud to say I have slowed down so much. And this vocal condition is a reminder for me to speak my truth. And that's why I wanted to gift everybody the gift of self-expression, self-expression journaling.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for your event, Clarissa.
Me
I think,
too.
right? And so here's the thing, audience members, I want to be really clear about something that you will always receive in my interviews. I only have guests that come from the perspective that there's more than enough to go around because we single-handedly cannot serve the how many billions of people do we have on this earth right now? What
Right.
number are we at? Like 4 billion, 5 billion? Is it five?
I have lost count.
4 billions of people. There
Yes.
needs to be an army of us doing this work, right? And we should be overlapping. And so this is
Yes.
why, right? This stuff brings me so much joy, and I want you to understand too. Some of you are resonating completely with what Clarissa's saying, to her voice, to her face if you're watching us on YouTube, to the words that she's using, and that's why it's so important for you to understand you always need a team of people to work with you. Always, always. It's never just one person. Okay? You're the only one person that needs to be at the team. You need different things from different people in the world at different times in your life. And then sometimes, unless you slow down, it's not like a buffet where you need to have every single taste of every single thing. I mean, you could. You might feel a little sick afterwards.
Yeah.
Right? And the goal is for us to have you aware that if your needs are to be more of like the desserts time, then you do the desserts at the buffet of the people that are offering that. However, if it's a time for like just proteins, right? Do you even know that your body needs that in terms of that type of care? Or maybe it's a salad day or a salad week. Are you having that conversation with your body and being clear? And then sometimes some of us are like, what are you talking about, Jenny? And I'm like, all right, listen, do you even pay attention to intuition? Your gut. When something tells you, oh, I need to take that left instead of that right. Do you listen? Do you do it? Do you even hear it when you get a little push to do something and you're like, nah, I'll do that next week. And then the opportunity is lost, right? You're always being called on to do something. And when you don't do it, you either lose that chance, and that's another opportunity to do what you elected to do in this lifetime, or you get hit hard. So, like you were saying, Clarissa, that your voice is a reminder every day, right, to slow down.
Yes.
For me, my breast cancer was that I was not listening to my body, and I've been getting messages forever. And then, right, when I found that lump and I had to go through that therapy, that 18 months of treatment, I still wasn't listening. It wasn't until, and so this is a trigger warning, my audience, and I have permission to speak on this. It wasn't until my daughter went into severe distress and was on suicide watch that I was like, whoa, my miracle baby is going to exit this earth if I do not get present like now. Non-negotiable. I don't wish that for you all, folks. Like, we don't want you to
Right.
lose your voice, get breast cancer.
No.
We prefer you to do, I mean, if you really insist on doing the hard way, go ahead and do that. We would prefer you not to
Right.
do that.
We're trying to help you.
Which, I mean, you need to have the help, but, you need to want the help
Yeah,
at the same time,
exactly.
right?
For sure. Yeah. And I think Going back to what you said about using your intuition, and either you do it or you don't, you're also creating that habit. If you're ignoring it, it becomes a habit of not listening to yourself. So that's kind of how I look at this. Um, is to really come from a place of, if I'm teaching myself, if I don't tune in to my intuition and I don't take action, I'm training myself to not trust myself, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, oftentimes when we were first arriving on this earth as babies, right? Most of the adults that took care of us didn't have this IKEA little blueprint of what to do.
Right.
They had to learn through trial and error. And there were moments when we felt so powerless. And we're just repeating some of those old patterns now. And so the time, if you're hearing this interview between us on the Dance to Heal podcast, if you're hearing this right now, this is literally telling you, hey, are you not paying attention to something in your life that you really need to pay attention to? Like hit pause unless you're driving. Just let's keep listening if you're driving. But if you're listening here, sitting somewhere, stop the recording right now. Stop us and think of. Oh wait, don't stop yet. Just and think about what am I missing, and then come back. Okay, because I just had this. Like I'm getting chills right now. What are you missing that you really need to be paying attention to right now? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great question to answer,
Mm.
and to know that you have the power to do something about it.
Absolutely. People, we think we're powerless and we're really not,
Oh
right,
gosh,
Clarissa?
we're not. We are not. As quickly as we can get in a sour mood, we can change it. We can change a thought, like change our positioning. Stand up if you're sitting down, sit down if you're standing up, to shift the energy.
Oh, absolutely. And I love what you said, to shift the energy. For you to shift your energy and your feelings, it requires motion, whether you're painting on a canvas, bopping to your favorite song, or taking a walk, listening to the bird song. Okay, folks, really pay attention to what Clarissa just said. I mean, this episode is being entitled "The Art of Becoming," and you've just given us so many gems today, Clarissa. I'm so excited for your event. Folks, remember the gift that she's giving us is called the hold on. I had it looked up. I want to make sure I tell it to you correctly. Um, oh, where'd you go? Okay, here you are. From employee employee to entrepreneur, and it is .live// self-expression journal. And you can go to the description and the link will be down there too if you need to do that. But if you're driving, come back to this episode, like save it when you're at a stoplight and come back to listen again to what we talked about. Clarissa, will you give us one last wish you would want for our listeners today?
I would say to remind you that you can paint your own path.
Mm.
You have the power to be, do, and have whatever it is you want. You can heal yourself through dance, movement, art, nature, belonging, volunteering, being in community, and just join us for the summit that's coming up. We would love to have you.
Yes. Oh, I love that. When you join and opt into that gift, you will also be getting emails about that when that comes up. And of course, you always have the gift that you get from being a member of this community when you go to danceandheal.com and you get that class. You'll also get the notifications of the summit through my email list. You'll get both. I want you to get both, okay? So that you have, you miss a lot of the emails. I know you're not opening your emails, so make sure that you do. And then I wanted to end on one last note about the volunteering. Folks, what helped save my daughter's life was the fact that we were fostering kittens. Okay? We call them 10.5 cats. It's really 11 cats. The 11th cat is really small. So she's like half a cat right now.
Oh,
At one
cute.
point, yeah, at one point we had 12.3 cats. Like the
Oh my
point
gosh.
5 cat was like point 0.3 cat, and we had 12 other cats because we needed that. It was an average of like 4 cats per, 3 cats per 4 people in the family, right? And that's how we did our girl math around that. So my point though is that the volunteering of the infant kittens had to keep us present, right? If you're
Yes.
volunteering like at a nursing home, you have to be present. Anyway, you're volunteering and gifting someone with your energy and your time and your physical presence, right? You need to be present when you're there. Otherwise, it's not truly volunteering,
Yeah, that's right.
right? And we noticed that in doing the care for the kittens, neonatal kittens are very fragile. They can just go, if you're not careful, within hours, right? So we had to really stay present. And now my daughter actually fosters kittens because it's just been a part of recovery. You have to be really
Right.
in your body and caring for yourself before you can care for anyone else. And I love that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is um, when we dance to music, it actually activates every part of your brain. It unifies your brain. Normally, we compartmentalize during the day. And I want to say that I need to do some research on this, Clarissa. Most of you know, because they've done research where they hooked up neurons to people's brains when they were dancing and noticed, oh my God, every part of the brain lights up.
Is lit up. That's
Yeah.
great.
When you're moving, because you require vision and sight and hearing, right? And so I bet you the same thing is happening with painting.
Yes. Because, I mean, I don't have the science on this, but my intuition tells me that you're focused on what you're doing. So that's probably activating the left side. But you're also like allowing yourself to just play.
Hmm.
So activating what I'm going to call the right side.
Hmm.
So putting that together is the whole brain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the neuroscience of it for me, because I was an occupational therapist and I worked with a lot of people who were post-neurological events, right? When you're painting, you're activating the part of your brain that is in charge of your sight and also your movement, because you have to move your body to do it, right? And then cognitively, you're thinking about what you're doing, even though you're slowing down. And then because there's a motion of play around it, you're waking up your amygdala, which is your emotion core in your brain, right? So for a lot of us, any type of thing that requires creative art, and then like I used to love painting outside.
Oh, I love
So that's
that.
like a combination, folks, of at least two of the things that Clarissa's been listing about what she wishes for us. All right. I think you have to come back, Clarissa, after your event, okay? And then
That
we
would
can,
be
I
wonderful.
think we need to continue this conversation.
Would love it.
Great. Now, folks, Clarissa does have her own podcast, which is called, let me make sure I say correctly. It is called, hold on, Painting Your Path. I mean, that's silly, Jenny. You should have known that, okay? So it's
All
called Painting
good.
Your Path. She also does retreats besides her event. Clarissa, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?